So thanks all for coming. Let me introduce the partners in this master. Well, I am maybe again introduce myself first. So my name is Vicente Gomez. I'm the director of the program, and together with me is Maria Elvira, who's the program the program manager. And then we have the local coordinators of each of the partner universities. So on one hand, we have Professor Leila Batina and Stepan Pisek from Radboud University. We also have Professor Massimo Mezzela from Sapienza University in Rome. And we also have Professor, where is he? Here, Gasper, in representing Professor Zoran, who couldn't make it. And we also have Hoop, who's also the project.
I don't know what happened there, but I will continue while Vicente come back.
Yeah, Vicenza's frozen, yeah.
Exactly. So the hub works at the University of Radboud along with Leila and Stefan. And then we also have Veshna from the University of Ljubljana, who is here with us. She works in the international office and she's in charge of all the things related to mobility and other things. So in a minute, we will be back. I will share my screen in order to show you the presentation, but as you know, today what we are going to do is to reply to some of your questions. The questions that you wrote in the registration form. So it's not going to be a webinar explaining the different parts of our program, because all that information, you can find it in the website of the EMAI. So give me 1 second and then I will share my screen with, okay. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I have it here. Okay. I am there. Okay. Please let me know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Thank you. So I will put it in this other mode. Okay, let me know. It's okay? Okay, thank you. So I will continue while Vicente arrives. So first of all, the purpose of the webinar. This is the content of the program today. First of all, we have the purpose of the webinar. Then we will explain in short how is our program organized. And then we will reply to some of your questions. For obvious reasons, we couldn't put all the questions today here because there were many of them. And we divided by topics, okay? So these are the topics that we selected. We tried to merge and to accommodate as much as possible, but as you can imagine, it was not possible, or it will not be possible to reply to all of them. As I already said, the purpose of the webinar is to reply to your questions, and if you need more information, you can find it in our website. The presentation and the registration will be shared, so no worries about that. All the links will be available. So the program in short. First of all, as you already may know, our consortium has 4 partner universities, Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona, which is the coordinating institution. Then we have Sapienza in Rome. Then we have Radboud University in the Netherlands and the University of Ljubljana in Slovenia. Apart from that, we also have many associated partners. You can see them on the website. And one of them is UCL Center for Artificial Intelligence in London, where the students have the possibility to spend 1 week between the first and the second year attending a summer school. And how is our program structured? Basically, it's a 2 years program, as you already know. The first semester, all the students are in Barcelona. During the second semester, they can spend all the second semester in one of the partner institutions. They can select one of the 3 institutions. And then during the second semester, they also have what we call the spring event. In this event, students...
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I started the presentation.
Hello?
And I'm explaining the program
Can
structure.
you hear me?
Yes. You can hear us?
Right.
Can you hear us, Vicente?
Can you all hear me or not? Yes? Maria Elvira, are you sharing
Yes.
screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. I am sharing the screen, Vicente. If you want to continue
I
from
cannot
here.
hear you. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but suddenly I lost connection. So I cannot hear anyone, so maybe it's my problem.
Yeah. Why don't you try to go out and get in again? Maybe. Can you hear us? No. While Vicente finds a solution for the technical problem, I will move forward with the presentation. So I was saying, during the second semester, students attend the spring event. The next and first spring event will be in Radboud University. And during this event, the students have the possibility to meet the students from the previous cohort. So first and second cohort in this case will be together. There will be conversations about the research projects, the thesis, ethical aspects, also methodology for the research. There are going to be a lot of different activities, and that is part of the additional activities of the program. Then, as I already said before, between the first and the second year, we have the summer school in UCL. And for the second year, third and fourth semesters, is while the students do their specializations. For this, they can choose between intelligent decision-making in Barcelona, robotics in Sapienza, cybersecurity in Radboud, or data science in Ljubljana. This is in a very short explanation, how the program works. If you want more information about the different courses that are offered during each semester, you can find that also in our website. And you can also find the list of professors who's teaching what and all the detailed information about each course. So now we will go to the following part of our webinar, which is basically what you ask us during the registration, which is related to the program structure and the curriculum. The way we are going to reply to your questions is going to be in the following way. We will divide it when it's possible between us, meaning Pompeu Fabra as coordinators, and the partners. So that's the reason why you see some, let's say, the acronym of the different universities there. So the first question is, how flexible is the program about changing or opting for different tracks after the first year? So once you are selected, there is a document that you need to sign, which is called the student agreement. in the student agreement, you should already say what you want to do during the second semester and the second year. And that is an official document. That document is signed by the UPF as coordinating institution. And this document is sent to the European Commission because they requested. So also because one of the things that we need to do for the European Commission is to report your mobility. So once you sign that document, that is the thing that you are supposed to do. Having said that, obviously, there is a little bit of flexibility. Usually is before April. The mobility for the second semester is not possible to change it, but the mobility for the specialization, it is possible to change it up to April of the following year. Having said that, you can request the change of your mobility, but this needs to be approved by the consortium. Also because before changing the mobility, we need to have into account the rules that the European Commission gives us in terms of the residence where you live. Depending on that, you can go to one place or not. And also the geographical distribution, meaning it is we try to do it in a way that is more or less even for all. So it's possible to change, but even if you request it, it doesn't mean that you will obtain a change. So it's good that when you select your mobility before signing the student agreement, you think it properly in order to do that. That's the first question. I don't know if there is someone from the partner institutions that want to add something here, or if I can move forward. Okay. Now
Sorry,
here,
Maria Elvira, can you hear me?
okay.
So
Now you,
yeah, maybe I can take it from here. There was
yes,
some technical problem here. I didn't have connection, but now I'm back.
thank you.
So I'm happy to take over. Sorry
Yes,
about that.
no worries.
I don't know if you covered the first part or.
I covered the broad explanation of the program, and we are
Okay.
already in these questions. I already covered question number 1, and I was going to
Yes.
ask help for question number 2. So you
Okay.
arrived in the best moment. So take it from there.
So maybe you can unshare and then I share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Good. So let me share. Hopefully this doesn't explode this time. Okay, I'm here.
Yes.
Right, so let's go to the second question. So the question is about the emergence of advanced technology like generative AI. Will your curriculum be updated? Okay, so there is a structural part of the curriculum, which are the mandatory courses and some of the elective courses. But at the same time, we are pretty aware that these technologies exist. We actually contribute to these technologies as well in our research. And so the curriculum is constantly updated in the sense that the contents of some of the courses are updated. So hopefully this answers the question. Of course, the structural backbone in terms of courses and grades, this is not changing. This is the same all the time. But nevertheless, we are adapting parts of the curriculum. So, okay, next question. Can you elaborate on the specialization courses offered in the second year? Are there any prerequisites for these courses? And this is a question that involves all the partners in the consortium. So I'm going to start saying a few words about the specialization that we offer here at UPF. And our specialization is on decision making, intelligent decision making. So this involves disciplines like automated planning and also reinforcement learning and areas like that. So in this specialization, we offer courses such as data-driven social analytics or structural graphical models, or courses that involve these sort of problems. Critical data studies also that deal with data, how to use data to establish causal relationships and things like that. So these are some of the optional courses, elective courses that we offer in the second year. The important thing maybe is the master thesis project. So in the master thesis project, then you have the option of working with our research group that is specialized on this area. So maybe the other colleagues can add on top of that. Maybe Massimo, you can say a few words about the specialization at Sapienza. Or Ljubljana or Radboud University?
I can, from the viewpoint of University of Ljubljana. So the data science specialization is quite heavily mathematically oriented. There are no formal prerequisites. We believe that students that take part in first semester in Barcelona and the second semester at whichever location that would be, are sufficiently prepared to master, to study within these courses sufficiently well. We don't have a strong historic data because the students have only this year started their first specialization in Ljubljana, but based on the second semester students, we don't think that there will be problems with these courses being too specialized, with these courses requiring too deep prior knowledge for EMAI students to master.
Okay, do you guys from Radboud?
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to add?
Sure. From Radboud side, so for the specialization in cybersecurity, courses vary. So from privacy topics, from security topics, from more hardcore mathematical topics. Prerequisites, we do not have explicit ones in the name of a course, some specific course, but there is some level of presumed foreknowledge that we assume, and that goes from mathematics, from computer science directions. So we do assume students will know basic stuff about networks, about programming, some basic stuff about security of systems. So along those lines.
Yeah, so it's important also to emphasize that the prerequisites are essentially taken during the first semester here at UPF and the second semester in another of the. So in principle, you should be able to take all these specialized courses. So Massimo, I don't know if you are there, you want to add something regarding Sapienza,
I can say
specialization in
something, yes, if you
robotics.
like. Typically in Sapienza, my video is switching on if you like. Okay, yes. So I just
Yes.
add to what you say is that for the specialization in robotics, typically is required to have a minimum knowledge of mathematics or math and what is called typically at the bachelor level control theory. Nevertheless, the experience of the first 2 years is that whatever student coming from the first semester, it's perfectly able. We have very good cases of students that now are in the second year attending the courses in robotics and they took the maximum degree. So a traditional bachelor in computer science you can apply, even if, or as well any bachelor in engineering, whatever engineering and so on. If you have a small course in control theory, this will make your life easier for those of you interested in robotics, because you can also have a specialization in which you do a little bit less than robotics and more on the software aspect. So I would say that there is the program is flexible, let's say, enough flexible.
Thanks, Massimo. So let's go to the next question. So question 4 is how many will be theoretical hours and the practical? So by the way, there are some typos in these questions because we copy pasted them from your questions. Okay, so maybe some of them could be rephrased differently. So how many will be the theoretical hours and the practical hours within the master? The answer is that this highly depends. No, depends on in which institution you are, in which part of the master you are. So what I can say, for example, from UPF is that in the beginning, theoretical hours are quite, let's say the proportion is 2/3 versus 1/3 of more practical hours. So there's the theory is concentrated also in the first semester. But that also depends on the different universities. So towards the end of the master, then the courses are more practically oriented. Maybe colleagues at Radboud can comment on that. So this is the question about the balance between theory and practice in the master. So regarding your courses, maybe you can say a few words.
Yes, so we have indeed quite a big range of courses. Some are quite theoretical, like cryptology, applied cryptography, and similar. But we also have very hands-on courses, such as, for example, hardware security, where students get to do things with like simple Arduino boards and kind of learning what are special components in those systems and how to access them and so on. And even more, our physical attacks on secure systems course actually really gets into the lab, performs some simple attacks on systems like microcontrollers, FPGAs, and so on. So there is quite hands-on, which also like would be maybe more interesting for students that have at least affinity to signal processing, but we also kind of give necessary background for that within those courses. So, and of course, internships that we offer are also another opportunity to do more practical work, depending on the topic that students chooses, but there is no requirement that it has to be theoretical, that it has to be novel research or anything. It can be just, you know, joining an ongoing project, do some development and learn something either from working within a company or with us in the lab or similar.
Jasper, do you have anything to add from Ljubljana?
Just as an official thought, all of our 6-credit courses split into 3 hours of lectures and 2 hours of additional exercise groups or consultations or individual work. There are some courses that are offered also for our own computer science students that are taught in bigger groups, in particular deep learning and web information extraction and retrieval, but other courses that are offered within the specialization of this master, say machine learning for data science too, or biomedical signal and image processing and so on. These are smaller courses, they run in a more intimate way with the bigger or more intensive interactions with teachers, with the more specialized tasks or homework assignments, and with bigger added value in my experience, because there's just more interaction with the teaching stuff within the smaller courses. But generally, we split into 3 hours of lectures per course per week and 2 hours of some other form of interactions with teachers, with the additional individual workload attached to every course that we have, of course.
Massimo, do you want to add something from Sapienza regarding balance of theory and practice?
If you like.
Yes, please.
If you like, I can just say that our courses at both, there are some that are theoretical for sure, but all of them suppose that there is also a practical part. So many implementation of projects, practical code writing for those code. The one in robotics, they have labs. So I would say that we are perfectly balanced. They are not purely theoretical, they are not purely practical.
Okay, thanks. So we're going to proceed with the next question. Thanks, Massimo. The next question is about whether there are any courses focused on AI risk and safety And then given the increasing importance of these topics in emerging technologies like blockchain-based decentralized Web 3.0 and quantum, I believe such courses are crucial. So the answer, whether there are courses focused on AI risk and safety, and there are not really mandatory courses on this. There are some elective courses that are that touch upon these topics. For example, at UPF, we have this course on critical and data studies and about the uses, the potential risks of the use of AI and so on, not focused in blockchain or quantum computing. So there is, I mean, the recommendation here is just look at the courses that are written on the web. Some other partner universities, they also offer similar courses that consider these topics, but it's not a core component of the master. So this is a master that is more focused on the technical aspects and on the scientific aspects, and this is let's say a soft science approach. Okay, so having said that, this doesn't mean, by no means, this is something that is not relevant to the master. So these topics are covered, but not at the curriculum level in detail. They are more covered in events such as the summer school that takes place at UCL, or in the spring event that this year is going to happen in the Radboud University. So the ideas that you get, I mean, this is also something that is changing very rapidly. So we are adapting these events to cover these topics to a certain extent. Okay, I don't know if my colleagues from Radboud would like to add something on that front.
Sure. Okay, yes. Whoever comes to Radboud either in second semester or also for second year, there is a course, mandatory course to listen called Security and Privacy of Machine Learning.
Right.
And that course covers AI risks, safety, security, so fairness, bias, misalignment, drift concepts like that, of course, with emphasis on the security aspects. And moreover, who is there for second year, there is a course, AI security seminar, where we also cover some of those aspects. So I would say it is covered well, but this application concepts towards quantum computing, towards blockchain based, that's more like certain application that can be done or does not need to be done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's continue here. This next topic is about research and projects. So here you see some of our students that won an award. So research and projects, how compatible is the EMAI with industry-related research collaborations? Okay, so the main point of collaboration is through these internships that are offered both at UPF and at Radboud University. But not only that, but also for the master thesis project. Okay, so you can choose whether to do an industry-related research collaboration with one of the associated partners. So that is the most natural way to collaborate with the industry. Okay, also in the summer school, there and at UCL, there are and maybe the spring events, there are visits to startup companies. So this is also a nice way to get in touch with the industrial environment. So that's from my side. I don't know if you want to add anything. Since you are also offering internships, Leila, maybe something, or it's clear. I think
thanks. I already mentioned a little bit. So I think definitely industry-related internships are probably the most popular ones. So instead of, staying at university and doing yet another project, I think most of the students like to experience this through the program. So yeah, and the topics, we try to have always something that's in this intersection of AI and security, but sometimes it's maybe more AI or more security, but I don't think that's a big problem. So it's usually definitely something that student has affinity to. So we try to advertise those topics to interested students, and then they can find the best match. So, but many options, definitely.
Right, thanks. Maybe from Ljubljana, since they also have a strong connection with the industry.
we don't have this formal internship course, but still our faculty, our department has a bunch, a collection of industrial partners, which we invite to pose problems, to pose topics for master thesis, and then it's usually made in connection with this industrial partner. Officially, you would have an advisor from the department and a co-advisor from our industrial partners. So there are no big pressure to have many students to opt for topics of this type, but it's an option in the sense that we don't guarantee that our partners that we will gather this many students to work on these theses, but think of these as suggestions that our industrial partners would like our students to take part of.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Massimo, I don't know if you want to add something about that regarding Sapienza collaboration with industry-related research.
We have collaboration. In this moment in particular, we have some projects related to generative AI. That was one of the questions that was done. It's quite simple from the administrative point of view. Typically, in our cases, even the collaboration with companies go through a professor, because for the Sapienza regulation, you should have in any case a professor that is the advisor of the thesis. So you are not, let me say, hired by the company, but is a thesis in which you work in close contact with the company that allow you to be exposed to the industrial reality. And it's normal, let's say. Many other times is the professor that have ideas that are more advanced than the one in companies. So it really depends on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And the historical moment, I would say also.
Yeah, so this
year
also...
is one, is a situation next year. This year, for example, there are many collaboration on these topics, and maybe in 1 year, if we as we witness, we are in a very changing, fast changing world. So I would say today it's a lot of collaboration. Let's see in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Massimo raised a point which is very important. So with industry-related research collaboration, there's always the supervision from some professor in the academy. This is not only for Sapienza, but also for the 3 partners, okay? So this is a joint program, and this is quite regulated at this level. So usually what happens is that you go to one of the institutions that already have some sort of agreement with the university, and then this is implemented on this way. Okay, so there is a figure of scientific supervision that takes care by the university, and then there's also the sort of the more supervision that takes place when the collaboration is done in an external institution. Okay, let's continue with the next question. This is, can students pursue their own research interest or propose independent projects? So here our policy is to be as flexible as possible. So if the student proposes an independent project that is interesting and that fits in one of the existing research lines, then this is of course a possibility. Okay, so we had good experiences in the first intake where students were very proactive and they even came up with ideas and possible projects, and they're actually carrying them out now. So it is possible. Of course, the project needs to be aligned with the contents of the master. So the answer is yes. Another question, can you give examples of research projects for intelligent decision-making track, and what is the focus? Okay, so again, all things that have to do with sequential, so making decisions based on data or using AI methods for that. So areas that correspond to that, as I mentioned, is reinforcement learning or planning. So I can give you examples of that. So for example, with robotics. So here at UPF, we have an agreement with a division of robotics also, and this is about sequential decision making. Okay, so projects you can do also robotics not only in Sapienza but also here at UPF. There is also another project about, for example, reasoning with large language models. So how to increase the reasoning capabilities of LLMs. Now you probably are all aware that this is one of the main research questions: how to make these language models, how to make them able to reason with many steps of reasoning. So this is another project that was being done in one of the master students. Maybe a more theoretical level, to give you an example of something more mathematical. So in sequential decision making, there are things called Markov decision processes, which are abstract models for calculating policies that select actions and make decisions. So to try to understand the theoretical properties of algorithms that try to solve these Markov decision problems. So proving theorems, this can also be a proposed independent project. So I gave you 3 examples. There are many more. So once the first intake finishes, we're going to post online all the projects that have been successful and excellent, so you can take a look at them. Okay, next question. I want to know what are laboratory available in UPF and Radboud. Also, if it's possible to join research that has partnership in industry. So this is a bit repetitive from before. I think it has been answered. There are, of course, facilities involved. So here there is, I think all the universities, they have a cluster computing to perform high performance computations. And this is something that you can take benefit from in all the partner universities. Okay. So let me now go to the next section. So more about internships and industry connection. This picture is about the summer school. Okay, where we visit the robotics lab there at UCL. And so questions here. Okay, first of all, important, when you see a link here, all information is here, basically. So before, okay, check that all that your questions are addressed here. So first question, does the University of Ljubljana include a research internship with an industrial partner in data science? I think we already answered this by Jasper before, so we don't need to insist more on this. Does the program assist in securing internships or jobs during or after the study period? The program, obviously, for those 2 partners that offer internships, we give you a pool of possible internships. Okay, so there are, for example, I'm talking now about Pompeu, so you can do an internship at Amazon or Eurecat or some of the other associated partners. So you have to apply for this, and we guide you through the process. Of course, there is a selection there, so it's not clear, it's not 100% that you're going to, so that you're going to be able to do the internship where you want, but I would say that there's a high chance that you end up doing it. So we provide you help on that. Jobs. So jobs. Okay, so you're not supposed to have a job while you are doing these studies. We can assist you in finding an internship or finding a research topic for your master thesis. Okay, but jobs after the study period, this is something that we are not doing at this level. Of course, there are associations like the Erasmus Mundus alumni and things like that they can support you on that. Okay. Yes, Hoop wants to say something from Radboud University. Yes.
We have a career service team where you can have several trainings and also a database of possible jobs and how to present yourselves and that kind of stuff. But we also have the BBB, which is a business fair on campus every spring. I believe it's May. And there are a lot of companies come and they are recruiting already the students. So if they really are interested in finding a job in the Netherlands, there they could go to it for free and then present their CV, etc. So there are much more possibilities on these kind of job fairs than I could mention. There are at least 10 in the country.
Yes, thanks. Okay. Any other comments? What are the opportunities for internship? Okay, I think this is a recurrent question.
Sorry, Vincent.
Can I
Yes.
say something on the jobs? Is Massimo speaking? Apologize,
Sure.
but I was trying to unmute. Let
Yes.
me say for all the attendees that my experience is that in this period, all the students that are graduating in this degree and the similar degree, they experience the opposite, that they have too much offer of jobs, especially AI. This is the situation in Italy, but I'm sure the same in Spain and in the Netherlands and the UK and so on. So you don't have to worry about the jobs, but let me say a point that is fundamental in my view, that you dedicate the 2 years of the master to studying, not starting to work, because the master has a strict constraint on finishing in 2 years, especially of those you that take the fee waiving and the scholarship, and you cannot do working and job at the same time. So the situation is the opposite, to refrain yourself from studying from 2 years and not starting before, because otherwise you are getting into troubles. I think that this is important that all of you are aware. So this is a master due to the nature that requires commitment from you. I don't know if my colleagues agree, but it's important.
I totally agree with Massimo. So it's essentially, this is an area where it's basically very easy to find
Yeah,
job.
my problem
You
is that I
should
need to
take
convince
profit.
this. Yeah. Sorry, Vincent. Please go on.
Yes, I should to take profit of these years of study, of doing research. Okay, sometimes the jobs they offer a research profile and they are not that focused on research. So this is an opportunity for you to do research and either start, let's say, a career which is more academic, following a PhD later, or then go to the industry. So this is how you should embrace this program. Yeah. Okay, let's continue if there are no other comments. What are the opportunities? Okay, sorry. Will the EMAI students get any internship? Okay, I think this is all answered, right? I'm going to go to the next question. Career prospects and skill development. How will this engineering course equip students with the skills and knowledge to address and solve real-world challenges? This is a bit of a vague question. Well, we're going to give you the skills and knowledge and the tools that you can use to solve real-world challenges, right? So how this engineering course? Well, there's a state-of-the-art techniques. The aim of this master is to provide a training not only on the most modern techniques. Now everything is LLMs and a particular class of I would say of AI. So AI it's a well-established discipline, and there are some challenges now that these systems that are currently state-of-the-art are not addressing. So we were talking about risks, we were talking about biases, and we were talking about connecting the more data-driven part learning methods with, for example, the more symbolic AI. So this is something that takes place in this program. So you get a training that covers basically AI as a field, as a scientific field, where you can also then find applications. But the idea is the program focuses on the core aspects of AI. So I hope this answers this question. I'd like to learn about the non-academic career development and the previous graduates' career paths. Okay. So, Maria Elvira, maybe you can help me to answer this question.
Yes, so related to the non-academic career development at UPF, there are different options that the students can attend. There are courses, language courses. There are also other type of activities that are not academic, like in order to socialize with the rest of the community, things that are related to cultural aspects of the city and things like that. And I think all our partner institutions offer the same type of courses that are, let's say, not specifically related to your program, mainly language courses. Those are the ones that are more popular. And if I may add something about the career paths of the previous graduates, we haven't got yet any graduate. Our first cohort will end their program in July this year. So there is no answer to that because we still need to see where they are going to go.
But we can provide an answer based because this master capitalizes on 4 existing masters, no, at each partner university. So I can talk about the UPA of the master that we have here, Master in Intelligent and Interactive System. Usually the graduate career paths, I would say it's 40% they continue doing academic research by pursuing a PhD program, and 60% they go to the industry. They take positions such as data science engineer or AI engineer or things like that. And I think a very similar thing happens for the other masters. Okay, so next question. How different and beneficial is this joint masters as compared to the conventional masters in reputed university in Europe? I would say that the key difference between this master is essentially the internationalization and the mobility associated. So the master involves a consortium of universities. So instead of being in one single location, you can benefit from different universities, different cultures. So there is the Erasmus Mundus associated value, which maybe it's not there for other conventional master in a reputed university in Europe. I also have to say that the 4 universities that form the consortium are reputed universities, so they have an excellent track in the rankings. You can check them both at level of research and at the level of academy. So I don't know if any of the colleagues want to add something about this.
I would like to reinforce the part related to the internationalization, which is basically part of an Erasmus Mundus itself. As you know, as any Erasmus Mundus, you must have 2 periods of mobility in 2 different universities, which means, for example, if I am from Barcelona and I am pursuing this master, I need to go to other 2 countries. I cannot stay in Barcelona. I need to go to at least Ljubljana and Radboud or Rome and Radboud, whatever I want, but I cannot stay in Barcelona. And this is something mandatory, which means this obliges the student to interact with at least 2 different cultures. And apart from that, and also because of the type of program, usually the different classes or the different groups of students are not composed by students from the same nationality. Just an example, in our first group, we have 20 students and there are 14 different nationalities. Instead, in our second group, we have 25 students and 19 different nationalities. This means that these types of programs offer you the possibility to connect, interact with different cultures, different types of thinking, and different types of teaching and learning, and that opens you the entire world. Just a comment.
Yeah, and maybe adding on top of that is that you shouldn't underestimate the mobility of going from one university and another. So this means that in 2 years, we basically have to live in 2 different countries. Okay, so there's a lot of things that are different from doing a master in one single institution. I mean, taking care of accommodation and traveling and things like that. This is something that makes this master different. Of course, we offer you support to a certain extent about that. So I don't know if anyone can add something to this. Maybe we can pass to the next question. So application and selection process. Okay, I think this might be more interested for the majority of you. So as you know, we finished the first round of applications that involved the Erasmus Mundus scholarships. The deadline closed on January, and now we are doing the selection. Okay, so from on next week, if you have been selected for this first initial phase, you probably will receive an email with an invitation for an interview. Okay, so we're going to conduct interviews in the next 2-3 weeks. Okay, and the notifications about this selection will be given before the 15th of March. Okay, so that's the first round. Then we have a second round, which will be exclusively for tuition fee waivers. So this means no Erasmus scholarships, Erasmus Mundus scholarships. And essentially, this means that you get the costs of the tuition fee paid, but you don't get the extra amount of 1,400 euros per month. So in this case, the second round will finish on March 18, and then we will do again some maybe round of additional interviews, and the notifications will be given on a rolling basis before the 24th of May. Okay. And finally, we have the period of the self-funded students for worldwide candidates before June 5th, and then only for European Union candidates, because if we go later than July, then there might be problems with the visa. So we basically put a deadline here at the 5th of July for candidates that are non from European countries. Okay, so this is a broad idea. Probably all this information you already check on the internet. Here is all this information. Let me go to more specific questions. So how much additional activities such as professional or research experience or any relevant experience besides the bachelor program is taken into account? Okay, obviously professional experience is also taken into account when we consider the criteria for the selection, no? And here we differentiate between research experience, which means, for example, you have published an article or you have a preprint or something like that. And this is a more research experience, and it counts independently whether you have done some internship or some job that is not directly research oriented. Okay, so these things count. Okay, I'm not going to give you the exact weight, but if you have them, you get more points. Okay, so next question, how is the profile that you're looking for when screening for the Erasmus Mundus scholarships? So the profile is, we're looking for students with an academic excellence record. Okay, so we're looking at students that have a high degree, high CGPA, high grades, and they also have done studies that are well aligned with the program, and they also come from universities that are also highly ranked in different rankings. Okay, so these are 3 variables that we use for determining academic excellence in the first place. Then we also look at recommendation letters, then we look at the video that you record, we look at the professional and research experience, and these all sorts of other criteria. We also have a criterion for minority communities and things like that. What is the process of application, and is the course offered in both Spanish and English or fully English? Okay, all the details for the process of application are on the website. You should check them. Do it with time because this requires some time. And the courses are fully taught in English. Okay, we offer some courses to learn other languages, but the curriculum of this program is fully in English. Are there any specific prerequisites in terms of academic background or experience? Okay, you will see online the prerequisites. Okay, we are looking for specifically students that have a background in computer science or related engineering. If you go to the website, then you will see what are the prerequisites in terms of number of credits that you would have done and that you should have done in regarding computer science, math, and these areas that are relevant for the entry profile. And again, background experience, as I mentioned before, it's a plus. Okay, so if you have done an internship somewhere and you have some extra experience, that also counts. Which are the ways to provide previous research experience? Do you accept preprints? Yes, you can add all these documents in your application. Okay, if you add a preprint, it's better that you add the link instead of a preprint, maybe to a repository that we can check. And these are essentially the ways to prove previous research experience. Okay, so if you have a published article, try to reference the article as best as possible, providing all the details. Okay, I'm going to finish this section now. Maybe there are other questions if we have time. Okay, we have 5 minutes left, so I better hurry up. Scholarships and financial support. You know, there are these two types of funding. The first round was about the Erasmus Mundus scholarships. We are doing now this selection. And this means that students that are selected, they get not only the fee, but also this monthly salary for the full length of the program for these 2 years. And you can use this money for travel, installation, and subsistence costs. And then the second round is about the fee waivers. Okay, this is going to cover the tuition fees of the 2 years of study, 18,000 in total, 9,000 every year. Sorry, in this case, there is no monthly salary. Scholarship and financial support. Does the scholarship cover your accommodation costs during your studies? Well, the scholarship is thought for that, okay? So all the costs about accommodation, mobility, travels, going to the spring event, summer school, you can use the scholarship to cover that. If so, does the student receive help in finding one or more money are gifted to the student once the rent is known? No, you don't get additional funding. So if you get the scholarship, that is the funding that you get, and we cannot pay you more. Sorry. Can you be employed when having a scholarship? Maria Elvira, correct me if I am wrong, but you cannot. Okay, you have a scholarship, then you are obliged to be full-time spending in the master. Can the fee waiver students get a scholarship or other fundings to cover living expenses? Yes, actually, we give you some possibilities where you can apply to get additional funding. We understand that the master is not cheap, so even if you have the student fees paid, usually you have to pay the costs of accommodation and traveling. So we give you some information on the website where you can apply to other types of fundings. Okay, so you can look at them on the web. Is there a chance to apply for a scholarship although 8th of January passed and get it in case someone decides to renounce the scholarship position? The answer is no. Okay, so we're going to select all the scholarships and then offer fee waivers on a demand basis. So if you didn't apply for the scholarship during the scholarship period, you won't be able to get the scholarship for this edition. Okay, you will have to apply next year. Okay, so miscellaneous, we have one question here. What are the international collaborations available to students as part of the program? Okay, we talk a bit about that, right? We have a lot of associated partners from the industry, from academy. You can check the website also about that. There are other international collaborations that can appear new in the events such as the summer school or the spring event. This is also dynamic. So I'm going to stop here, right? We have actually 2 minutes, and maybe we can go through some of the questions that were posted in the chat. Maria Elvira,
Yeah.
did you collect?
Yeah, actually, there are not a lot of questions because more or less all of them were replied during the session. There is one about the requirement of statistics to apply to the program. If it's required to have a background in statistics or something like that.
Okay, so there is a section in the website. If you look at the prerequisites about this master, wait, where was this? More application and selection. Selection procedure. in the website there is a place where you can see what are the entry requirements. Okay, and basically statistics is one of the mathematical topics that you need to know. So probability, statistics, algebra, you need to have done some credits on that. Okay, so I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, there is another question related to the information notification of students who do not get the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and it's about the rejection letter or email. Yes, those emails will be sent after March 15.
Yes.
Before that is not possible because we are in the selection process. And another reason why it is not possible to apply now for the scholarship is not only because it is closed, but also because we also create a reserve list. And if there is a student who rejects the scholarship, then we use the reserve list. And students will be informed if they are completely rejected or if they are in the reserve list.
Yes, exactly. So before, if you apply to the first period, you should receive a notification before the 15th of March, either if you're accepted, rejected, or you're in the waiting list.
Yes.
Any other questions?
How many total scholarships and total fee waivers are going to be offered? We will offer 15 scholarships. 15 scholarships this year, and we have more tuition fee waivers. We have up to 25.
Yes, we're going to increase the number of fee waivers. Our experience is that students, we're going to have more fee waivers than last year, this year.
Exactly.
We aim at 25, 20, 25, and these are the numbers. So 15 scholarships, 20, 25 fee waivers.
Yes.
Acceptance rate stats. Okay, so we can give you numbers about the number of applications. Last year was 640, something like that. And we selected 25 students. So you make the counts. This year we received 720. I'm talking about eligible applicants, okay? The non-eligible, there were more than 1,300, okay? But most of them, they didn't have all the, well, not most of them, but nearly half of them didn't have all the correct documentation. So they were discarded. So now we are doing the selection of these 720. So we are going to select essentially 15 plus 25. Okay, you get the numbers. What is the timeline to get the invitation for the interviews? Just this and next week? Yeah, so over the next 2 weeks, you will receive an email if you have been selected for the interview.
Yeah, there is another one here, which is related to the Erasmus Mundus. In the web page, it is mentioned that the Erasmus Mundus can be coupled with other scholarships. I just want to clarify this. If you receive an Erasmus Mundus scholarship, you cannot work and you cannot be employed in a company unless it's during your internship. While students with tuition fee waivers, they can look for scholarships to help to have support for the accommodation and traveling. So there are two different things. I don't know if it's clear.
Okay, I see many questions are already answered on the website.
Yes.
Okay, so for example, of course, from Australia, you can be offered a scholarship fee waiver. So anyone from the entire world can apply. 15 plus 25 with assistance, right? But there could be more self-funded. Yes, self-funded, we say that there is an open period for self-funded when the second route applies. Okay,
Can courses
can course be substitute for subjects with credits? There is no possibility of convalidating credits from previous study. This is also in the frequently asked questions information on the web. So I think we covered everything. If we didn't, it's because probably the question to your answer is already online. Okay, so I would suggest we can finish here. Okay, I'm going to
Yes.
thank you, everyone. Again, expect emails about interviews during the next week or the other one, and you will receive a notification before 15th of March. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the 36 people that have been in this meeting. The meeting will be recording. Sorry for the technical problem in the beginning. Thank you, colleagues from Italy. Thank you, Massimo. Thank you, colleagues from Radboud, Hoop, Leila, and Stepan already left. Thanks. Thank you, Gasper, for being there. I don't see Veshna here. Thanks. Thank you, Marta, for taking care. And thanks, everyone. We're going to finish the session now. Thanks, everyone.